I, 26M, come from a big, close-knit family. My parents emigrated from Europe to America when they were in their early 20s, hoping to build a better future. After settling down, they had 6 children, and despite the usual ups and downs, our household was filled with love and strong family values. This story, however, is about 2 of my older sisters, Joy, 27F, and Jessica, 32F, and how an act of betrayal shattered our once tight bond. When I was 15, Joy started dating Tim, 30M. Tim was a great guy, or at least we all thought so at the time. He was charming, funny, and had a promising future ahead of him. More importantly, he loved Joy, and she loved him. We all saw how much they adored each other. My parents liked Tim, my siblings welcomed him into the family, and everything seemed perfect. Looking back, it's crazy to think how quickly everything could come crashing down. It happened when I was 16. It was a Friday night, and I was watching Disney Channel with my younger sister, who was only 6 at the time. It was just a typical night until Joy walked past us and slammed her bedroom door shut. I froze. Joy never slammed doors, even when she was upset. It wasn't like her at all. I barely had time to react before my parents walked in. My mom looked shaken, my dad avoided eye contact, and they immediately told my little sister to go watch TV in another room. When we were alone, they sat me down and broke the news. Earlier that day, Joy had been at her part-time job when a close friend approached her, looking distressed. Her friend hesitated before finally confessing that she had seen something shocking. Jessica, our older sister, was pregnant, and the father was none other than Tim. Joy was dumbfounded, but before she could react, her friend pulled out her phone and showed her undeniable proof, pictures and a video of Jessica and Tim together, kissing inside a car after they had left a doctor's office. That moment shattered Joy's entire world. The fallout was beyond anything I could have imagined. A few nights later, Jessica came home for dinner. She had been living with a friend while attending college, so she wasn't home every night, but that evening, my parents confronted her. At first, she denied everything. But when my mother mentioned the photos and video, Jessica's face turned pale. The silence that followed was suffocating. Then, after what felt like an eternity, she finally admitted it. She had been secretly seeing Tim behind Joy's back for 5 months before getting pregnant. The room exploded. Joy broke down, screaming and sobbing, demanding to know how Jessica could betray her like this. My older brother Jacob, 30M, started yelling too, his anger barely contained. My parents were devastated, but what could they do? I just sat there in shock, unsure of what to say, watching my family crumble before my eyes. Jessica's betrayal didn't just destroy Joy's relationship, it tore apart the family. She packed up the rest of her belongings that night and left, and from that moment on, she was no longer a part of our lives. At least, not mine. A week later, she reached out to me, thinking that my silence meant I was still willing to have a relationship with her. But I wasn't. I told her I wanted nothing to do with her and blocked her number. Years passed, and Jessica moved on with Tim. They got married and had their daughter. Then another daughter. Now, as of 2023, she's pregnant again, with yet another girl. Tim, however, is furious. He desperately wanted a son, and from what I've heard, their marriage isn't as happy as Jessica might have imagined. But that's not my problem. She made her choices, and she can live with them. Then, just yesterday, I got a message that dragged me right back into the drama. Jessica's mother-in-law reached out to me through Facebook. She asked if it was true that Joy and her husband, Alex, 30M, were expecting a baby boy. I didn't respond right away, but when my wife, 25F, started getting harassed, I had enough. I told Jessica's MIL to leave my wife out of it and blocked her. I don't know why she wanted to know about Joy's baby, but I have a bad feeling about it. If Jessica is as unhappy as she seems, I wouldn't put it past her to stir up trouble. But honestly, that's not my concern anymore. I've moved on, and I'm focused on my own life. Some wounds never heal, but I refuse to let her betrayal keep me from my own happiness.